Hey guys, it's me again, and today I will be showing you some stuff I will be doing on this R33 GTS-T behind me. So let's go. So as you can see, it's a pretty clean and mint condition R33 GTS-T. It has some basic modifications done to it, like a upgraded radiator and a HKS intake and like some other stuff like the strut braces and everything. It also has R33 GTR front bumper and a bigger spoiler and everything. And like in general, it's a pretty nice car. So today I will be showing you guys on how to install the clutch slave cylinder. This is an authentic Nismo one. It should upgrade the pedal feel a lot more. So yeah. Also in one of the next videos I will be showing you guys how to upgrade the RB25 with an oil cooler. Because I wanted to install a Blitz sandwich plate on here, but when I started to unscrew the oil filter, the thread of the oil filter housing just broke off, and apparently it's a pretty common problem on the RB engines because the aluminum it's made out of is like not the best, and after 30 years of use and abuse it just broke off. At least it broke off while removing the filter and not while the owner was driving it, because otherwise it probably would have ended in a pretty big engine failure. But yeah, I'm still waiting on the oil cooler. It should arrive, I hope, end of this week or at least start of next week. And then I can show you the process of putting an oil cooler in there, because it's not that easy, because you need a different sandwich plate and everything, and you need to find a position for the oil cooler. But yeah, I think it will be a pretty cool video to watch. But now let's move on to the clutch slave cylinder. The car is now in the air, and as you can see, the slave cylinder is in a pretty handy location, so it's quite easy to change. What I also forgot to mention is the owner bought a new downpipe to remove this crusty, rusty old one, and he also got a new catalytic converter from HKS. It should be a 200 CPI one, and we will also be installing this one today. So as you can see, here we got the old one, which is pretty crusty and yeah, not that great at all. And here now is the new Nismo one. Looking forward to see how it improves like the clutch feel and everything. But yeah, it's a quite an easy install. So the only tricky part I would say is to bleed the system, but I will show you guys how I do that later. So as you can see, the Nismo slave cylinder is now in. Always remember to put some new to put some new copper rings in between the fittings to get it sealed properly. But yeah, this was now quite an easy install. Now let's move on to bleeding this system. Okay, so now a small change of plans. I can't actually bleed the clutch by myself because I'm like alone at the moment. And normally, when I bleed systems like brakes or the clutch, I have this adapter thing. it connects to this pressure chamber we have here, and this is filled with brake fluid. What it does, it basically just puts pressure onto your into your system, into your brake system, and also refills it at the same time. So basically, you're pushing out all of the air from above through the system, so you can easily bleed clutches or brakes by yourself. But unfortunately, the master cylinder is a bit small, and I can't get the adapter to fit, so I need to do it manually with a friend of mine. But I will be filming it, and probably it will be posted in this video as well. So yeah, I actually bled the system now with a friend of mine. I did it the old school way, so I was sitting in the car and pumping the fluid through it. What's really important here, the cylinder up here also has a bleeder valve, and if you're changing the slave cylinder and you're bleeding the system, you also need to bleed the master cylinder here, because I had the problem that there was a small air bubble in there and I didn't have a good feeling clutch. So yeah, always remember to also bleed the master cylinder. So since we're done, or basically done with the slave cylinder upgrade, we're now going to work on the downpipe. As you can see, it's held in by these 3 bolts up there, and these 2 nuts and bolts on the converter, as well as on the catback exhaust he already has. It's also HKS, so basically, except for the downpipe, his whole exhaust system is now from HKS, which is pretty cool. I like authentic parts, but yeah, let's see if we can get these open without having a mental breakdown. So now the downpipe and the catalytic converter are removed. I'm actually pretty impressed that even the studs didn't came out, because like on most of the cars, especially Japanese cars, I wrenched, the studs were always, how should I say, they were either broken or they would come out if you remove the nut. So yeah, they were basically seized onto the nut. But yeah, it's actually in pretty good condition. I will use some new nuts, and yeah, now I'm going to show you the difference between the catalytic converters. So on the left here we have the OEM one, and this here is the HKS one. It actually came with like a heat shielding, which is pretty cool. I think it looks very high quality, as you can see here. It's a 200 CPI catalytic converter, and here is the OEM one. As you can see, the OEM one is much finer, and so, that is causing the exhaust gases to have more back pressure than with this one. Ideally, no catalytic converter would be perfect for back pressure, but yeah, you can't do that here in Austria due to pretty strict regulations and stuff, and like the yearly inspection. But yeah, this is a really good way to gain a bit more power, reliability, and yeah, and to make the sound of the car also better. Here you can see the difference between the the downpipes. So the owner bought the Jap-Speed one as well. Yeah, because this one is like pretty ugly and pretty crusty. So yeah, it should also definitely change the sound of the car. But yeah, we will see. Okay, now we got a small problem with the Jap-Speed downpipe, because I think this is not for the right car. I mean, the flange and everything, it looks right, but when you put it on, and it doesn't matter which way you put it on, how should I say, it's not lining up at all. So I guess we're going to use the OEM downpipe again. But yeah, this sucks. Okay, now since the Jabspeed downpipe didn't fit, I installed this thing again, which hurts a bit, but yeah, I don't want to modify the Jabspeed one to make it fit. I would much rather build one myself because I think the overall quality would be a bit better. But I'm very impressed by the HKS catalytic converter. This is a really nice piece of kit. The welds and everything look incredibly good. All the hardware, all the things are included in the kit, like example for the gaskets and even the heat shielding and everything. And yeah, the fit up was pretty easy, and it just looks really good. It also has this custom HKS plate, as you can see down there. So can really recommend this if you just want a plug and play solution that works and looks good and is a bit smaller than the original one, because on most R or S chassis the problem is when driving low, since the exhaust sits below the frame rail here, it's the first thing that scrapes. So as you can see as well with the middle silencer and everything, it's a bit tricky to drive the cars low efficiently. So yeah, if you want to build a custom setup, you would need to start like on the downpipe here and then get much closer to the how's it called, uh, to the footwell and stuff, like to the base plate of the car, and after that then you can redo the whole exhaust system. I did a few of these already for also R33 GTS-T and S13 of my friend. Can put some pictures in here if I find some, but yeah, you can gain about 3 to 4 centimeters of more you can gain about 3 to 4 centimeters to lower your car more and to get it legal in Austria, because the legal limit here that you can get registered is 9.5 centimeters of like fixed points, like for example the exhaust and everything. Okay, since I'm preparing for putting an oil cooler into this car, I don't know if you can see that, I needed to remove um, the bolt that was in the middle of this hole, and if you can see, this is what it looks like. It only has these two like indentations on it, so it's quite hard to get out. You can't just go in there with a wrench because it's too big and you don't have enough leverage. So what I came up with, I used an old socket, and then just cut some slits in it and put a piece of like steel on it and welded it on, and then it came out pretty easily. So if you have a hard time removing this, just build something like this. Okay, so now I'm starting to remove the whole dash panel, and as far as I know, and as I looked it up on YouTube, it's basically just held in by these two screws down there, and the rest is just clipped in basically. What helps a lot is that you just pull this lever down there, put the steering wheel on the lowest position so you can get your hands in there and have a better pull, so you don't break the whole thing because it's like one big piece. Okay, so now the dash panel is like fully loose, and here are a few electrical connections and like this hose here. But yeah, it's actually not that hard to pull this thing out. But yeah, yeah. When I say it's not hard, I mean yeah, with one hand it's pretty hard. But yeah, I also forgot there's this connector. Ah, shit. Now I think it should be quite a lot easier to get out. Ah, look at this now. Now perfect. So yeah, trim panel is out, and here I already pulled all of the wires for the sensors inside of the car, and now I just need to get these up here, so I can replace the vents here with this 3D printed piece. And yeah, then I just need to find a 12-volt source, hook everything up, and when the oil cooler arrives, everything should work, I think. Okay, so now it's a different day actually, but I finished up the wiring for the ProSport-gauge, and as you can see here, I've used the green and white cable as a 12-volt source, and the black cable here as ground. Don't wonder why the orange cable isn't connected. If you connect this as well onto the 12-volt source, your gauge will automatically be orange. And now I actually made it white. So in a second. So normally you can choose between 3 colors, and now yeah, it's just white. Don't wonder why it's blinking. No sensor is connected, so that's why it's freaking out. So as you can see, guys, the gauge is in. The whole dash panel is also back in again. Same with the shift knob and everything. And yeah, now I can show you how this will look. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Now let's start the engine. Also the Nismo slave cylinder made a big difference in how the clutch actually feels. I really liked it. Wasn't a big fan of how it felt before, but yeah. As you can see, gauge is working. Also, I think it looks pretty decent. Not a big fan of like when these gauges are mounted like here on the dash or here in the A-pillar, so I think it's a pretty good solution. So yeah, it's working, so that's good. So the car is basically done at this point, at least for me. As you can see, I've also cleaned up a bit of the wiring harness that was there, that was just lying around there. Finalized the routing of the braided lines for the oil cooler, so now everything looks good. As you can see, the D1 Spec oil cooler sits here now. What I forgot to show you is where I actually mounted the pressure sensor for the gauge. And as you guys also saw in the last clip, it sounds pretty nice with the HKS exhaust and the HKS catalytic converter. And it's actually still pretty quiet, so perfect for Austrian roads. So as you can see, the interior is also done now. Here you can see the gauge. I think it looks pretty good. It's also pretty clean in the interior now, so yeah. So the car is now done, at least for the mods that I did on the car. The owner will pick it up tomorrow, and I hope you will enjoy the car, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. In the next video, we will be working on this thing again, the R33 GTR. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, what you would like to see, or some kind of feedback, just leave it in the comment sections, and I appreciate you watching the video. Thanks, and until the next time.